Hello, and welcome back to. Let me. How do I say this again? I know why this is so hard. By the end of the week, hopefully, Meakashi, right? Yeah, my no Maya, Aya, Meakashi. I don't know. It's destroying my brain. But welcome back. I just clicked. I'm sorry. The last time was a pretty good episode. We met Satoshi. Shion fell in love with Satoshi, or at least has maybe not love, but strong feelings towards him. Um, so that's spicy. You might not know it, but I actually do enjoy romantic stuff a lot. It always makes me giddy, so this should be fun. I mean, for a bit. I'm sure it will not be fun in the latter half, but I want to enjoy it. So yeah, Satoshi saved us from some punts. Talked to Mion about it. A little like other disagreement. Well, not really a disagreement, but like Shion was like shocked how Mion didn't really consider Satoshi's feelings during their hard time, him and Satoko's abusive family thing. So another difference between them, and maybe an indication that Mion doesn't like Satoshi like she does with Taichi. So I don't know. Anyways, I feel the spice. So let's just hop into it. I'm excited. The life I lived really was beginning to suffocate me. Wait, am I recording? Yep, I'm on the right thing. I couldn't go out freely, and I always had to make arrangements with Mion before going to work. I thought my life would improve after escaping from school, but in reality, it wasn't that easy. Yeah, obviously this life is super hard. Still waiting for what makes her come out. It seems like Oryu isn't, or at least from Shion's perspective, she isn't hunting her down too hard, so I still like I mean, I like the idea that like when Oryu dies, Shion can come out, but if she does die in like the next year, then it's kind of a stretch because she probably does come out in this arc or in this year. So I don't know. It's not it's not healthy to live like this for too long. Without any friends to hang out with, I felt like I was hibernating. I start I'd started to feel the dangers of falling into boredom. Uh-oh. All I could think of now was Satoshi Hojo Twin's face. I'd only met him briefly, but my encounter with him had a great impact on my new life. Like, talk about, like, love struck. I mean, it's understandable. It's a pretty good first impression with saving her and then giving her a head pat, but still. I didn't really expect it from someone like Shion, of all people. But again, I like it. Should be fun. Hopefully. Also, isn't this, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but isn't this like the year where, they try to call protective services for Satoko and Satoshi, and then it fails? So I wonder if, like, Shion was a part of that. That would be interesting too. Lots of interesting stuff, even though again that was more of a Totoro thing. But I'm sure while this connects mainly to Watanabe, it's probably not linear and has some clues for the other arcs. I felt like something exciting was going to happen. Really, I was hyped up like a little kid. The more I thought about it, I realized I've been thinking about him a lot lately. This might be a crush. I felt a little ridiculous idolizing him in such a romantic way, though. Then, out of the blue, I got a chance to see him again. Lucky. I saw a familiar face at twilight in the park. He was sitting on the swing. He looked like he was zoning out, or maybe deep in thought. He didn't notice me, even though I was right in front of him. I reminded myself to speak and not like Mion before talking to him.
Hey!
Was that a Mion hey? Don't think I've heard of that before. Oh, this song though. Have you heard it this art yet? This was like my favorite song for the question arts. It always just hits you where you liked it. This is new. Just we haven't been into a park in Okonomiya yet, so to be expected. Drinking strawberry bubbly, by the way. I've noticed I've talked way too much about drinks for like small talk, so I'll keep it in a low. But yeah, opinions on strawberry? I think it's a kind of an overrated fruit. It's not. It doesn't taste that good to me. I know people love like putting chocolate on it or whatever, but it's just meh to me. It tastes more watery. And it's like alright as a drink flavor because it's so passive, but I would take a lot of fruit over strawberries. Oh yeah, but back to this song. I love this song. I'm glad it came back. Like obviously there's a lot of new songs because it's, again, I think they got a composer and stuff and answer art, so might as well freshen it up. But they're, they kept the pair song, but more importantly they kept this song, which I think is just great.
何やってんのこんなとこでさ。
Okay, that does sound like Mion.
ミオンか。
Sad voice Satoshi.
びっくりしたな。そんなに驚いてるようには見えないけどね。さっきからいたんだけど、ずっと気づかなかった？そうなのかい？ごめん、気づかなかったよ。
God, I keep saying it, but I love the voice with him. The voice with this timid, sad boy thing. He's just so adorable. He looks depressed. Wait. He smiles self-derisively. Derisively? I know that word, but we're gonna doodle it anyways. Work on the vocabulary.
Derisively.
Derisively. In a manner expressing contempt or ridicule. Okay. He looked depressed, like something was troubling him.
何か悩み事でも？聞いて楽になるものなら聞くし、力になれるものなら惜しまないけど。
And then you don't wanna... And I mean, you don't wanna make a move pretending you're Mion or things might get, like, awkward. Wouldn't that be funny? Like, what if, like, Shion pretends to be Mion and, like, they get really close together, and then that makes, like, Satoshi get close to the Mion at school, and then that Mion, the real Mion, starts to like Satoshi. That would be a weird chain of events. I don't know. I'm just speculating about the possible stuff with Satoshi, but it's just exciting, not just because I like him, like, from what we know, not... which is not a lot, or from what we've seen, but it's like, it's Satoshi. He's been like hyped. Well, I don't know if it's hyped up, but I've been hyped up to see what he's about from like 1 to 3. It was like, yeah, and we're finally getting him, so can't contain the excitement.
いや別に。
And I like it. I like how he's like opposite to Keiichi. Like Keiichi's like super energetic almost, and he's just like, he feels naturally energetic, while Satoshi just feels naturally sad.
私はサトシ君に
Or
は
maybe
一
not
個借
sad.
りがあるからね。
Gentle is a good word for him.
それとも何？おじさんじゃ力になれないと思ってるわけ？
Good
見
one.
くびられたもんだな。
別にミオンの力を借りたら意味がないことだからさ。
ほう。それは何？つまり私ごとき女の手は借りたくないってこと？
Thinking him unfair, I puffed up my cheeks in a sulky gesture. Sorry about that. I feel like it's just a rite of passage in video recordings. Either there's a train or there's like a burp. Though I do try to conceal it, but I don't know how. how to with this mic. I'm trying different positions. Though I feel like we haven't heard a train recently. It's obviously like Corona schedule, so there's less, but it low key feels lonely. I think we heard it on like the first recording, but yeah, I kind of miss it. He kind of like breaks the tension, but which is either bad or good if it's like kind of spooky. Though burping is always bad. And it only happens when I'm recording, so it's actually a cursed. Need to get that fixed.
僕に実力がなくてここ一番で
Just
打てなかったってだけのこと
just
なんだよ
phone call Rita. Give me a charm. I mentally rifled through all the information about Satoshi-kun. Sorry, I kind of missed his last thing.
違うんだよミオ僕に実力がなくてここ一番で打てなかったってだけのことなんだよ
Ah, yes, he is a baseball player. Okay, so he's not. Oh, well, maybe this is just a lie, but. Right. Maybe that's why Xian's the baseball manager. Maybe it's not because she likes it, but it's because of Satoshi, huh? Which should have been an easy connection, but I don't know. I didn't really think about that. Also, I mean, I guess another potential candidate for manager evil guy in Onitakashi is Satoshi because he likes baseball, but I don't know. I don't think so. Telling me this kid is evil, I doubt it. He doesn't look like much of an athlete, but apparently Satoshi-kun belongs to a junior baseball team. They're called the Hinamizawa Fighters. I doubt he's very skilled since I didn't hear much about his contributions to the team. Maybe that's why he doesn't tell many people that he's a member. Given how down he felt as a result of messing up, though, he must be fairly dedicated. I deduced all that from what Sis told me and carefully chose my words so as to sound like her.
なんだ
Man, it's just all this mental power into acting exactly the same, which of course would take a lot, but it's just impressive.
そんなことで落ち込んでるわけ
Like, I can just imagine us, like, or imagine this was Keiichi, and we're just looking through his perspective. Like, you would almost be totally fooled by this. I mean, there's a couple, just, like, when she said, can't fool this old man, she used ol instead of old when Mion used old, but that could just be, like, a translation whim. I don't know if that's an actual, like, hint in the words. Probably not, but yeah. Like, we're seeing the thought process of, like, of one of the sisters acting like the other, which is really cool, because obviously that's a big part of watching Higurashi, and maybe some other parts of other arts.
そんなことでって
God, his blushing face is so red. It's the reddest out of all of them, huh?
簡単に言ってくれるなミオンは
I pat his back while chuckling. Satoshi-kun would probably call me insensitive. I knew I should listen to him rather than trying to cheer him up. Acting like this was probably the wrong thing to do in this case, but I had no choice. This was just how she'd react in this situation.
それなら落ち込むんじゃなくてなお一層練習に打ち込んで次のチャンスを目指すのが適当ってもんでしょうがこういう時は練習しかないよ練習まあサトシ君に相手のピッチャーに小細工をしてまで勝ちたいという執念があるならおじさんいろいろと協力できるかもしれませんけどね
That face.
何の意味もないよはあ
Satoshi-kun hung his head after letting his regrets out with a big sigh. Surrender, defeat, resignation were all visible in that gesture of his.
諦めがいいのか未練たらたらなのかやっぱり男に生まれたからには 一度くらいは晴れ舞台でスターになってみたいでしょう。
Okay. Satoshi-kun grinned and said yes.
もちろんヒーローを目指すのが花だけど、それが目的で野球をやってるわけじゃないよ。純粋にボールを投げたり打ったりするのが楽しいからやってるんだよ。ミオンでもそういうのわかるよね。
おじさんはそういうのはあんまわかんないかな。
See, I feel like in the questionnaire, she used old, not old man. But again, I think that just might be a translation whim, because well, I know I have some examples, but like the translations do change slightly for some phrases, so I'm not sure.
私は結果が一番であるならどんな種目でも大好きだし。
See, I feel like if you were, because I wasn't like hyper looking for parts where Miana and Shin would be switched, this wouldn't be too hard not to read, because this is like too Miana almost. But maybe that's like, again, maybe it's just because we know it's Shion. But it's like it doesn't feel natural. It just feels like Shion's like has a book of what Mion would say and just throws stuff out with this context. It feels a little stiff in my opinion.
一番になれないのに大好きなんてものはあんま
But
り
I
よ
don't
く
know.
わかんないね。
ミオンらしい答えだな。
Sounds too much like her almost. Having realized that I'm trying to make him feel better, he laughed along. He didn't look depressed anymore. I guess he was feeling down because of the game. He wasn't as depressed as I thought. Maybe I just jumped to conclusions when I saw him sitting alone in the park.
でもミオンは一番になるためにいろいろと努力をするからね。それは偉いと思うよ。
He smiled gently and stood up. Then he started stroking my head. Chill, dude. All of a sudden, it's the Satoshi head pat. I guess we have a contender to beat Rika, who's currently the champion of head pats. Jeez. All of a sudden, I totally wasn't prepared for that. It's the close-up! The white light! It's too gentle. It's too beautiful. I thought this when he did this last time, but how can he stroke somebody's head so easily? I know. Just imagine that in real life. I mean, you shouldn't, because obviously anything with like the vein of anime, even though I know this is a visual novel, but you know, in that same vein is a little dramatized usually for this stuff, but it's just it's just too much, dude. It's so embarrassing. I could never imagine even like doing that if someone asked. I felt like I had turned into a little kid. Memories from kindergarten came to mind. My face must have been red. I felt embarrassed, but also like I was in heaven. And it's this song. What was it called? Dear You or My Dear? It's been mentioned. Apparently there's a lot of iterations. It's pretty good. This one's like super, this one just makes me super happy. Then the hint version is like a little spooky, but a little like rustic. I don't think rustic's the right word, but you get it. What more can they do with the song? Can we get a super, I feel like you can probably make a super sad version of the song with just slowing it down with just piano. I don't know if you can do a spooky version, like spookier than the hints. It's a good song though. It'll definitely grow on me the more I listen to it. I don't know if I like it more than the song I was just talking about before, but that's because we went through like a couple arcs with that song, so let this one like settle a bit before I can say that completely. Satoshi-kun stroked me as though petting a cat. I was blushing with my eyes closed. I felt helpless, like a girl being treated by the dentist with her mouth open and her eyes shut. I don't think maybe I do close my eyes sometimes. I usually just like watch TV at the dentist, but again, this is olden times, so ignore me. Satoshi-kun didn't seem to notice my feelings at all. He didn't seem to care. I hate him. I mean, he probably did this like a billion times with Mion, and she probably didn't care. With my eyes still closed, I waited for him to finish. He suddenly withdrew his hand.
じゃあ僕はそろそろ帰るよ
Like, whatever. Let's take this just in case I want to spice it up with a thumbnail. Close up Satoshi with his eyes open and smiling. Look at him.
おばさんに野球の帰りに買い物をしてくるよう頼まれてるから
あ、
My voice faltered. I was so embarrassed.
買い物なら私も行くとこ
Let's go
夕飯の買い
together.
物
Yay.
あれミオも買い物するんだお手伝いさんが全部やってくれるって言ってなかったっけ
Shoot. I messed up. In the main Sonozaki house, the maids do everything. We haven't seen maids. I don't know. Mion looks like super independent, but obviously the maids weren't there for the final confrontation because Mion either, like, probably just shooed them away or something. But it doesn't make sense. I don't know. I feel like, again, it was a year later. Like Rishion with her personal driver seemed more like dependent on people, where Mion just like walked everywhere without any guards or whatever. Therefore, Mion, I mean, it made sense. Mion's like lunches were like super high grade, so I remember that. Therefore, Mion hardly does grocery shopping, and she's bright to some people about that. I should have known better. Still, it wouldn't be too hard to find an excuse.
町に遊びに来るつもりでいたからたまには家事の真似事でもするかなって思って買い物を私が引き受けてきたわけよお分かり
ミオンにしては珍しいね普段はそういうのめんどくさいって言って嫌がりそうなのに
そういうのを余計なお世話って言います頭撫でないで
Shion's weakness, head stroking. Sounded a little weird. Satoshi-kun seemed to be having fun with how embarrassed I get when he patted me. Anyway, I managed to talk my way out of it. He didn't seem to really care about the details. While walking with Satoshi-kun in the shopping district of Kami Ishiki, it suddenly occurred to me. Why had I messed up? I know Mion would never go grocery shopping. What an amateurish mistake. Did I make that mistake when I was pretending to be Mion? No. I was probably speaking as Shion. I couldn't keep lying to myself. I had to just admit. It was simply because I wanted to spend as much time with Satoshi-kun as possible. It was easy to see why I was so attracted to him. I'd found something intriguing in my boring life, and I didn't have to feel tense because he thought I was somebody else, etc., etc. His easygoing nature made him fun to be around, and his habit of petting people on the head was fun too. From these symptoms, I could tell I was embracing the feeling of love. I was just casually enjoying that feeling. It wasn't that I fell in love with him. I was just having fun. I could simply spend some fun time with Satoshi-kun without having to think too much. It's the fun song. Dan, dan. Dan, 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 dan. Apparently I messed that up. The cursed supermarket.
ブロッコリーってどれだっけ？緑だっけ？黄色だっけ？
Okay, so I know a bunch of people told me like, oh, this might indicate that Satoko's colorblind, which sure, why not? I don't know if it has any bearing. I feel like since people told me, it probably doesn't, but like, is Satoshi also colorblind, or do they just have like this, they just don't eat broccoli? I don't know.
サトシ君、そっちはカリフラワ
Obviously, the broccoli scene from Onitakushi is still one of the best Satoko scenes, but yeah.
ー。サトシ君ってひょっとしてキャベツとレタスの区別がつかないタイプ？
It's a cute callback. I appreciate it, Satoshi.
それはひどいよ。これでも精一杯区別してるつもり。
Satoshi-kun stared at the heaps of broccoli and cauliflower. After thinking for a while, he reached out for the wrong one.
それ違う。サトシ君の買い物は見ててハラハラしますね。見てるこっちは楽しいけどさ。
参ったな。サトコと一緒の時にも迷うんだよ。
Yeah.
ブロッコリーとカリフラワーはどっちが何色だっけってね。
I mean, I guess color blindness is probably like a genetic thing, but I don't know. It's still cute.
あんたら兄弟二人揃って面白すぎです。
Sisa told me that Satoshi was a flaky big brother to his nagging little sister. I hadn't met Satoko, but she must be having a tough time dealing with Satoshi-kun. I think she's having a tough time in general. He stumbles over everything he buys after all.
それは調理塩。胡椒とか混じってますから、卓上塩とは異なります。
I've never had. I mean, is that? I don't know. I just use normal salt with cooking.
そうなの？ほら、確か理科の実験で塩と胡椒を分離するのを確か。
言い訳はいいから棚に戻す。こっちが普通のお塩ね。で、次は
ミオンがいてくれると買い物が楽で助かる。
Imagine Satoshi doing this by himself. It would have been a disaster, which is funny, but also like when he gets back to his aunt, he probably would have been punished too. So she's actually like helping more than she probably knows.
サトシ君、頭良さそうに見えて社会生活に支障ありすぎです。もう少しお勉強した方がいいと思います。
それはひどいな。あった。これかな。ひょいひょい。
Oh, what is he doing?
だからそれは違う。何でもカゴに放り込む前に値段と何人分かをよく確認する。
Don't buy the premium stuff. My first impression of Satoshi-kun was that he was strong and reliable. But the more I spoke to him, the more I was surprised at how clumsy and unreliable he was. How do I put it? It was hard to leave him alone. He was dangerous on his own. If he wasn't careful, he might start wondering, do you cross the street when the light is red? Or was it green? And get himself run over by a dump truck. Sweat drop. Oh man.
1780円になります。
It's pretty good for. I feel like my grocery trips are usually more than that.
スタンプカードはお持ちですか？はい。 あります。と、あれ、どこかな。
すみません。ちょっと見当たらないんで、今度でいいです。
I finished checking out, ignoring Satoshi-kun as he fished through his wallet full of receipts.
ひどいな、ミオン。スタンプちゃんと押さないともったいないよ。
Yeah.
あんた、夕暮れ時のお買い物ラッシュの時にのんびりと財布を漁ってスタンプカードなんか探さない。
If it's a rush, fine, but you know, gotta get your free points. Free money when you
後
can.
ろに大勢待ってるんだから。私たちの後ろで海線山線のおばさま方が早くしなさいざますって目でギロギロ睨んでたの気づいてなかったんですか？
What if that's what scared Keiichi in the hint in Anakatsushi? Just the evil stares of the old ladies for lunch rush.
ね、そういう時はレジ前に並んでる時からあらかじめ用意しておくの。
あ、そうか。いいことを聞いたよ。
He's so airheaded. Even again, I'm with Shion. He's more than I thought he was. With like all the hype Satoto was giving him. Not to say he's bad or anything. It's pretty funny, but still super airheaded, kind of. I'm sure he's reliable when it counts, though. So.
ちなみにここでのことだけじゃないですからね。バスに乗る時もそう。サトシ君、バスを降りようとして料金を入れる時、その時になって初めてお財布を開けて小銭をちまちまと探して後ろの人を詰まらせて待たせてるでしょ。
I hate when people do that. Sorry, it's just like if you're at a bus stop waiting, might as well have your stuff ready. If you're like running and you just make it on time, then it's more understandable. Like I don't do that anymore because basically where I live, everything you use is by like a card, so you just tap your card. But like when I was a high schooler, I hate when stuff gets cluttered like that. Though I'm not gonna lie, like half the time as a high schooler, you would like just rush in with everybody and just like get on for free. So there's that too.
みんな僕を追い抜いて勝手に料金を入れてるかな。
はあ、それはね、すっごーく周りに迷惑をかけているのです。そういうのはあらかじめ用意しておくのがマナー。わかりました？
わかったよ。今日のミオンは怖いな。
Satoshi-kun smiled as if patronizing me. I couldn't believe it. He was definitely the type who made women want to protect him. Yeah. I mean, he's not like Satoto, but I guess it's the same feeling of wanting to protect Satoshi when you want to protect Satoto. Again, I would take Satoto, but you know, Satoto's literally god status, so yeah. Though I did say in the comment, and I will say, like, I really like Mion. Like, you know, just taking all the experience from the question arts, like, Mion is like definitely my second. And it's hard not to say, like, I want Mion to be my first. So like, if Satoto's God, let's say like Mion's Jesus. Like, let's do that comparison. So they're both pretty much the same in my book, but Satoto's the OG, so a bit more respect on her. But I love Mion too. Though then opinions can change throughout the answer arcs. So I don't know how. I don't think Satoto's will change because she seems pretty. Like, I feel like they have a pretty good grasp on her characters, no matter what like twists they throw in. Unless she's literally like evil, but I doubt it. But I guess Mion's could change. Who knows? Bam bam. Sorry. I'm regaining my thoughts. Sure, he was fine as he was when he had a busybody like me around him, but I couldn't stop worrying whether he was able to function in society without someone like that nearby. We got plastic beds and sorted out what we bought. Satoshi-kun put a pack of tofu at the bottom of the bed. I slapped his hand and put a milk cart in instead. Solids and hard stuff on the bottom, squishy stuff on the top. It's just classic reasoning. I learned that as a kid going grocery shopping. Come on, Satoshi, this is the bare bone basics.
はい、これで OK。これで台所で買い物袋を広げてお母さんに仰天されなくて済みますからね。
ありがとう。
She might freak out anyways, but
助かったよ。
again, Shion, you're saving lives right now. Saving a couple years off Satoko. I was gonna say Satoshi, but I think he's dead.
買い物だけ正直におっしゃい。嘘冗談。
Bam, bam. I had realized a few things while I was spending time with him today. He's not just bad at shopping, he's also chronically clumsy. In general, you could call him a slow thinker. Hey, that's funny. Wait, what was Keiichi? Wasn't Keiichi like a fast thinker? Or no, he was like... What did they describe him as into Higurashi? Like a critical thinker? I don't know. I think he's like the opposite of a slow thinker though, so, you know, just add more to the opposite for Keiichi and Satoshi thing. That meant when he stepped into the quarrel with the punch, he must have needed a lot of courage. He might be a simpleton, but he's not stupid. Jeez. Shion being rough as always with her words, even to the guy she really likes. He's aware of his weaknesses, so he must have been aware of the danger in that situation. He could have chosen to walk away even though I was in trouble, but he chose to be a man and stepped in. That was really admirable of him. You know, the close-up. You know, close-up in the grocery shop might be better than close-up in the park. Gotta get those those in, and the cabbage. Is that, I mean, lettuce. Oh my god, I just pulled a Satoshi. That's lettuce, right? Yeah. Unlucky. Honestly, just say pull the Hojo. I don't know, maybe the whole family has a colorblind issue.
いい子いい子。
なんだよ。
Did we give him a head pat?
急に人の頭を撫でないでくれよ。
Revenge.
サトシくんが一人でお買い物ができましたでしょう。なでなでなで。
僕のこと
How do you like
すっごい
it,
バカにしてるだろ。
Satoshi? Isn't it embarrassing? Stop stroking people's heads.
してないよ。
Only Rita can do it.
お家一人で帰れるかな？道わかる？
やっぱりバカにしてる。
Satoshi-kun's sulky face flushed red. I just love how it transitions to the red face. It's just like, just because it's so much blush, it looks so funny. It's just so fast. At that point, I caught a glimpse of a billboard in the corner of my eye. Piano lessons, tall at sets. Abacus class. Junior baseball team members wanted. It was a posting for the team Satoshi-kun belonged to. It showed the time and place of their next practice. By then, I just knew how flaky he was. I figured he must be just the same when playing baseball. Satoshi-kun realized I was reading the posting. He looked uncomfortable and walked away.
今、サトシくんは思った。頼むからミオン。野球やってるとこまで来ないでくれよ。図星？
Would be embarrassing.
そのムーってのはつまり何さ？
Did I cut you off, Satoshi? Didn't mean it. You were just making sounds though, so
図星ってことでしょ。
shit's fine.
うん
Satoshi-kun became quiet. After mumbling something, it seemed like he couldn't say anything back since I had been right on the money. Satoshi-kun, you're just too cute. I don't think going silent is a good way to dodge the issue. Well, that might have just been the way innocent people like him would react in a situation like that.
じゃあね、サトシくん。
Janet,
暗くなりかけてるから気をつけて帰ってね。
don't trip. Honestly, I worry about him too.
一緒に帰らないのかい
We live. Got it. True. But we can't really step to in Hinamizawa, so.
ひなみざわ
私はもうちょっと寄るとこありますんで。気にしないで先に帰ってください。
Is this like the classic street they use? Because whenever I see this street, I just think of the Higurashi hint where like Satoko blows up Oishi. Was it? Or no, that might have been the Himatsubushi hint. Someone blew up here, and I'm like 90% sure Satoko did that to Oishi. Because who else is gonna blow people up?
今度は僕が手伝う
Okay, yeah, I did read that.
大丈夫大丈夫。っていうか、サトシくんが何を手伝うおつもりで？人の手伝いする前に自分が手伝われなくて買い物できるようになっといてください。
I skipped. I'm terrible. Jeez. So rough with the words.
今日のミオンはひときわ意地悪かな
It's like playfully, but like playful words, but they sting hard. He seemed to have some pride at least. He looked a bit upset because he was being teased by a girl. But in contrast, I felt very satisfied. Maybe he's just upset that he's being teased in general. As a result, I forgot to keep my guard up.
あでも手伝ってくれてありがとうね
So close.
本当に
Relax.
助かったから
How do you do it? Honestly. What was that? Cute. While wearing a bright smile, Satoshi-kun suddenly started stroking my head again. Dude, it's just Satoshi, dude. How does he do it? How can we let him keep getting away with it? I know he's teasing me, but oh, I can't reject him. He keeps doing it only because he's realized I won't resist. Oh. Bam, 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 bam.
暗くならないうちに用事を済ませてねまた明日学校で
Probably be seeing you in a baseball game. That'd be fun. Last time you saw a baseball game, that was pretty sick.
また明日学校でね。
In fact, I wouldn't see him tomorrow at all. It felt awkward, but I had to settle for that. I had to thank Sis for letting me use her name. I wonder if she's... I feel like if Shen was gonna tell someone, it would be, well, it could be, bodyguard. What's his name? Starts with a K. Taisu? Kaido? Something? I don't know. I want to see Mion's reaction. That would be a funny conversation, but I don't know if she's gonna do it. It would be especially awkward if Mion was responsible for Satoshi's disappearance, which I feel like that's gotta be what happens, right? To cause the void. Though there are like smaller issues that can do it. I don't know. I'm old giddy right now. This is too much. Satoshi's too much to handle, man. After I separated from him, I found myself giddy. I just said that. We're seeing Shion, I feel it. And wishing to see him again as soon as possible. I wanted to know more about him. I couldn't wait for my next chance to see. Yo, it's the train. Is this the first train, or did I just not notice it? Hello, train. I just said I missed you. I will allow you to pass while we're not in the middle of dialogue, so it's fine. I couldn't wait for my next chance to see him. Actually, maybe there is something I could do. Just like when I obtained my freedom from St. Lucia's, I could choose how to live my life. Whatever, it wasn't that complicated. I just wanted to tease him more. I wanted him to stroke my head more. And, whatever. I already knew the schedule for his baseball team. Bam, 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 chapter, and should be. Got the baseball team. Thingy. Rise of Manager Shion. A crumpled diary. The broccoli icon on the achievement. I don't know if you can see that. That's cute. Okay, I feel like that was cute. Like I said, I was excited for that. Like, that's squeaky. That's me lifting my leg over my other leg, like all the way up. Surprisingly flexible. New diary. I feel like every diary is gonna be like a different diary. So the first one's a mystery. Again, it could be Shion or one of the Sonozakis, Takano, maybe, or Rika. The second one was 100% Satoshi or Satoko. See, here's the other variant. See, it sounds a little spookier, but it's also like, I don't know, is rusted the right word? It feels kind of rusted to me. It's good though, simple. It's a nice beat. Again, I didn't see a very good way to make this sound like super sad, but just slowing it down a bit with just piano. Actually, you can have some backup on like the second verse, but or the chorus, but still, I can see it. It's a good song. I appreciate it. Let's see whose diary this is. That's not okay. So it's, well, it could be the other sibling. Maybe. My aunt finally stopped her hysterical screaming. Today was just like any other day. I can't remember what set her off. Whatever it was, she changed subjects constantly anyways. It didn't matter. Jeez, that house. She went on past midnight again. The urge to sleep was pounding off the back of my head. Okay, so this is Satoshi. So it's a double Satoshi hint. Well, not double, but, you know, 2 in a row. Once Satoko had been able to relax, she fell down on the spot and started sleeping, still clinging to my sleeve. I carried Satoko to the bedroom and laid her out on the futons. Laid out our futons.
Hora, Satoko. Futon ga shiketa yo. Futon ni hairi na.
God, whispering Satoshi voice sounds so good. Satoko crawled in like a worm. She stopped moving once she was inside. I wish I could go to bed too, but I couldn't. My aunt asked me to do some chores. I had to get toothpaste after school tomorrow. I had to write it down somewhere. I had to make rice for lunch tomorrow. I set the timer. Right, I also had to repile the towels in the bathroom. That was the reason for today's scolding. My aunt would get mad if everything isn't done the way she wants. Oh, and there's something else. I was working at the grocery store the next day. They wanted me to bring an apron. Did we even have an apron in this house? I never seen one. My aunt will be sleeping once I go to school, so I won't have time to ask her. What should I do? Since Mion helped me get that job, I don't want to screw it up. I was gonna say, like, what if he bumps into Shion? But again, this hints aren't chronological, so this could have happened at any time. In that case, why don't I ask Mion about it at school? She might lend me one. Was there anything else? I was envious of Satoko because she got to go to bed. It was pathetic that I felt that way. Mm. Interesting hint. I mean, it's kind of like the second one where Satoshi does do a good job protecting her sister, protecting Satoko, and Satoko obviously is super clingy, but it also seems that he's doesn't feel great about it, or he's getting a little tired, which is understandable. Like, I've always had that feeling of while caring about something, if you like spend so long with it, it kind of it kind of loses its luster, or you get a little tired of it. But so I think it's natural, but yeah, interesting. Anything else to take from that? Not really. It does feel like, I don't want to be mean, but like, yeah, I just slow thinker is a good way to describe him. But like, so like, it's especially rough with this over demanding aunt giving him all the tasks when he has such a hard time remembering or doing everything. So extra sympathy points, I guess. But I don't think there's too much hints in that so far, but I guess we'll see next time. So chapter 3 is done. We're getting there. This was definitely the Satoshi chapter. Got some Satoshi, got some romance in this episode, kind of. It was cute. I like it. I want more cuteness. This is a different kind of cuteness. Usually we get like cute characters, but like cute relationship stuff like this it's really fun. It's definitely something like I would imagine like I said, I really like Keiichi and Mion as a couple. Like I would love to see some cute interactions with them, which will probably not happen unless it's not, no, probably not, but it would be nice. So seeing it with Shion and Satoshi, which is, I mean, kind of similar to Mion and Keiichi, but not really. But it's fun. It's fun. I'm having a great time. There's still tinges of sadness, but so far I think it's going fine. So yeah, next chapter. Let's hopefully we'll keep the good vibes rolling. But yeah, thank you for watching. See you next time. Yeah, bye.